Kabisa mpenzi mtazamaji, bado tunazidi kuwatakia kila laheri jamii ya Kiislamu popote pale walipo katika dunia hii, kutoka viungani mwa chuo kikuu cha Kenyatta University Television. Hapa ndo tuko tunasema Eid al-Fitr. Sasa tunaingia katika magazeti, na katika magazeti siku ya leo yamewaka. Azwa ulikuwa pale hivyo unajionea promos na madukani. Tumekuwa hapa hivi na siku ya leo I'm so delighted. Yani nasikia energy na nje kunanyesha because I have hottest from two political parties, chama cha vijana na vijana ambao wamechukua chama kikuu cha vijana, youth wing ya Wiper. By the way, mmeinini sana for a very long time. Kalonzo ndo amekuwa kila kitu ya Wiper. Ukiona Kalonzo ndo unaona Wiper, but nowadays tunawaona mnaongelea Wiper. On the other end, kuna vijana pia wamekaa mahali wakasema hapana guys, we keep saying must go just say tumejeza tu entitlement. We need to be in political parties, but we've not been accommodated in this particular party, or we've not been accommodated in this particular party. Hatuwezi toshea kila mahali. What about tujenge nyumba yetu? And they've done that. They've given you a promise that they are calling Kenya a hardy party, whereby they are promising that haki yako ndo promise kwao kwa mpigo tena zaidi. So on set niko na Diana Makena Kimathi. Tell me about Kimathi, by the way. Tell me about your dad.
So much, Ojwani, and I'll tell you, Kimathi is a very household name, and Kimathi means someone who goes to look for and comes back with it. So
Komatha.
Yeah, Komatha, if you get
good
that.
one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good. So Diana Kimathi, yes, mgeni on set ya KUTV Rise today. Either it's on Art and Culture Monday or Biashara Tuesday with Sylvia Anyango. Tunapenda akili yake, na ukikuja hapa hivi uko fiti, kurudi utarudi tu. We are not gatekeepers. That's why KU has the largest gate in this country. Kila mtu akuje, si ndio?
Exactly.
Na wanasema kuingia KU ni ngumu, kutoka ni ngumu zaidi.
KU ni Mombasa ndogo.
Ni Mombasa ndogo. On the other end, tunasema tuko na mtu ambaye amebobea when it comes to policies, when it comes to youth advocacy, when it comes to political and governance expertise. Yeye ni expert kwa haya mambo yote. Yeye ameenda amefanya mpaka masters, na saa hizi he's serving in Kenya Hardy Party as a Secretary General. Mwadime Mwangi. Mwadime, uko na Mwadime pale hivyo. Tell us about Mwadime, ilitoka wapi? Leo ni Eid al-Fitr. Maybe kuna mahali tunaweza pata hesabu ya kichele.
First of all, allow me to wish our brothers and sisters, Muslims, happy Eid al-Fitr, especially, our party, the National Organizing Secretary. Her name is Dr. Jora Said. She leads all the fraternity of membership recruitment in our party. And she's a lecturer in Technical University of Kenya. And why our party is, let me say, tentatively unique is because this is a young person. Also, this is a strong person coming from the Muslim background who, who's not just afraid to come out and say, look, this is our country. And a lot is happening, and we need to come out and speak. So it's very important that we understand that diversity is also very important, that we may not come from the same background or culture, and but we are united by one Kenya, one country. To answer your question about where Mwadime is coming from, my mother is coming from those sides of coast, and my father is coming from this side of Kiambu. And children don't choose their names.
They don't.
Right.
They get them. The only person who ever chose a name is Ojwang.
But I will tell you something unique. You have to make your own name. Today, Ojwang Mariam is a household name because of what you do. Today, whether it's Nick Mwadime, whether it's Nick Mwangi, whether it's Nick Mwadime Mwangi, I am whom I am because of
what you do.
Yeah, Nyashinsky said, kabla jina yako ijulikane,
jipe miaka
kabisa. So I tell young people, and we are not going to have this country for free. All these political people we see, the political oligarchs, Musalia joined politics. He was a minister of finance at 29 years old.
29 years at a time when social media was not revamped. We are talking about 90s, 97. A young man dared to dream. And hadi saizi hata kama hafiki hapo hivyo mahali anataka, he's somewhere at the corridors of power in this country.
1982, the Honorable Prime Minister was accused of coup attempt among the Hezekiah Ochuka, those who remember their history. Look, at that point of time, these people were still making names. They were still making, and it's nothing very different from us, Ojwang. And we have to appreciate the element of time. Ruto has been a powerhouse from 1992.
Yeah.
And I think that's where he came. He was held hand by one Cyrus Jirongo when they formed YK92. So I tell people, the more things change, the more they remain this. Whatever we are doing today about advocacy, about shouting must go, we must remember that these people have been there before. So what we're supposed to ask ourselves is, what new strategies are we deploying so that we make sure we get on the table, we get the wheels of power, because that is where decisions are made.
I remember you told us today that Ruto is winning. We'll talk about that.
Unfortunately for us, that he's still ahead.
He's still ahead. In the year 2002, Kenyans chant, yote yawezekana
Bila Moi.
But they didn't just sing.
Yes.
They formed a coalition by then, waliita National Rainbow Coalition.
Correct.
Na wakaweza kufanya hivyo. Madam.
Yes.
Diana, umetembea sana. We've been with you hadi kwa ground the whole of Kiambu doing road show for Kenyatta University, KUTV, KU Radio. Na umesikiza ground, unaona ground.
Kabisa.
Na we ndo the same person leo off air ulikuwa umesema that we have to accept the reality of where we are as a country. Kenya. Kwa hiyo mayasma yote yenye inatukoroga hapo. Ground inakaaje from where you sit?
So from where I sit, the ground is shaky. Very, very shaky in terms of leadership and governance. We are trading at a very poor note, apparently. And 2 years towards the election, we are not talking about development. We are not talking about what is there for the Kenyans. We have started politics so early. And those are ways of a poor country, a country which is trading so poorly, especially economic-wise. We are supposed to be, I think if we can capture the politics of US as you were referring to, where the campaigns, they were out 6 months towards the election. That is the time we can talk the language of campaigns. But look at us where we are currently. We are up in the vehicles, campaigning, instead of working to a common mwananchi. So the main question remains, are we still doing justice to these people who gave us power?
A question Kenyans should be asking themselves.
Yes.
Sisi tunakuaga tuna trade fit sana on politics kutoka 2020. We've been the same. Hiyo ndio kitu yenye tunaita deja vu. Sikia, the Daily Nation, they are talking about how things look the same. The same thing Nick anasema, the same thing unasema. Politics, ODM chief Raila Odinga is still a key protagonist as he was in the year 205. In the year 205 tulikuwa kwa chungwa ndizi. Hapo ndo ODM iliweza kutengenezwa. So the headline ya Daily Nation inasema Ruto versus Kibaki 20 years apart. Same problems.
Sure.
Same problems. Deja vu. President William Ruto's first term in office mirrors that of the man in whose cabinet he served, Stanley Emilio Mwai Kibaki. Like the case 20 years ago, Mount Kenya, which found itself besieged as it sought to help President Kibaki retain power, now also finds itself facing a campaign to isolate the region that this time is fighting to dislodge President Ruto after a bitter falling out with his former deputy Rigathi Gachagua on page 4 and page 5. Nick mahali tuko tuliwahi kuwa. Mahali certain communities zinasema hatutaki certain president. Same chenye Daily Nation hawajaongelea ni people have been trying, or President Ruto's team has been trying to compare him to President Kibaki, saying venye nitapandisha uchumi, saying vile nitafanya mambo mazuri and all that. But saizi we are talking about same problems zenye zinatu face. Strategies zetu bado saizi zinakaa the same. Youths hawaingii mahali wajiconverge kwa political parties. Kila mtu ako peke yake anasema mimi kama kijana wa hii nchi ama hili taifa la Kenya nasema Ruto must go. But that's what they're doing, and kuenda barabara. Kitu ambacho kimeweza kufanya mpaka CDF Kahariri anasema kwamba you can't remove the president that way. You have to remove the president in accordance to your constitution, because it's our constitution. They're supposed to safeguard it, them as the military. The president naye anafaa kuiheshimu, kuiprotect na kuserve. We can only remove him either via impeachment or via ballot. But we can't go the ballot way if we are not united kwa ballot yenyewe. Na hapo hivyo tunahitaji kulobby through parties and all that.
Yeah,
same problem.
And you see, Mariam, Ruto understands one thing. In our country, Kenya, it's just, it's like we are living in a bubble. Why am I saying so? We had a former president, Uhuru Muigai wa Kenyatta, who did almost, let me say, 11,000 kilometers of road. Come 2022, a majority of people said we will not eat roads. You get a majority.
Yes. Barabara hatukuli. Unatuambia umetujengea Nairobi Express.
So Ruto has understood that politics has nothing at all to do with development. Unfortunate, Makena will tell you, has nothing. If you walk here in Mount Kenya, there are so many people who have voted outside or voted out because of the wave of political parties. Number two, coming from a region whereby it's largely populated with votes, Mount Kenya, we are already split. And Ruto has ensured that we are split. Why? Let me explain what just happened. Recently, we have seen Kaore Mwangaza officially impeached. The people from Meru, the MCs, told Ruto, look, if for we to support you, what you need to do, just let go of this bishop. Now a majority of people from Meru are starting to rethink, yeah, can we have Ruto again? Now, he's not done yet. He has gone to Embu. He has started with Mbere North, right? Ruku, right? And he's going to do a test run. And the test run will be making sure, to ensure that he's still having weight in Mount Kenya. So he's doing his mathematics. Ideally, I may not get the 4 million votes that I got back then, but I need 1 or 2 million. Remember, his region, the Rift Valley, is still intact. Remember, the people from the coast are still coming back to the basket
through Joho.
Yes. Remember, the people from Nyanza are now saying that tuko kwa serikali. Right? Remember, Oparanya, Boni Kalwale, Mudavadi, Wetangula are still in government. And you see, I had the Prime Cabinet Secretary saying removing Ruto 2027 will be almost difficult. That's the reality I'm telling Makena, that we as young people, this is our reality. That if we don't have a strategy apart from a must go, then this guy will sweep us. Just like the other day, we went to the street saying that we don't want a finance bill. What we achieved, that the finance bill was abolished, but did we win the war?
We just won on paper.
We just won on the street.
He sent away all those CSS, but all those CSS came back.
Still came back.
Even Nakumincha.
Aliingia
mahali, alitokea tu kwa matanga. Akasema mimi nimeteseka huku nauza kuku.
And that is what we call politics. we have to differentiate between activism and politics. These people know politics. We are still fresh in the game. Can we sit back for a minute and say, let us learn from them. Let us look at the gaps that they are leaving, so that when we attack, we are not going to lose.
So you are saying something, bro, that the game is the same. We have to accept that. That
We have
politics
to.
is a game, and it's the same.
It is the same.
They have been playing it up to now, over 30 years, playing the same game.
Yeah.
Ndio maana magazeti yanaongelea kuhusu deja vu, it's the same thing. We don't have strategies vile inaka, but tuko na strategy moja ya kuimba.
Yeah,
It's
short.
not enough.
It is not enough. That's
So
what I'm
leo
saying.
tuko na kijana sasa kutoka upande wa Meru. And the president is set to make a tour,
visit.
Mount Kenya tour,
Yeah, Meru.
starting today.
Meru is the first stop.
Meru is the first one.
Where
Where
the deputy is coming
mama
from.
wa kaende finally ended.
Yes.
Madam Diana,
Yes.
tuchoree taswira ya Meru saa hii.
Nikuchoree taswira ya Meru. So sincerely speaking, Meru currently it is at quite a place, at a peaceful place. You know, I think the last time we were here, we were talking about the women governors, the G7, and we were looking at the point of what's wrong with their counties, and we came to realize we have been once given a leadership, it should not be determined by your gender. Your performance should not be determined at all by your gender. And I hate when I hear someone saying that Meru is a patriarchal society. Meru is not a patriarchal society, Ojwang. Because if you check at the dynamics of which Kawira was voted in, between the first opponent, between her and the first runners-up, that was Honorable Mithika Linturi, you'll get it was 25,183 voters.
And she was independent.
And she was
Backed by
independent. So you can imagine, that's not a patriarchal society. This patriarchal society is the one which voted you in. And after voting you in, even the disparity between you and your opponent, it was so big. It was our own constituency, my brother. Our own constituency. So is it okay to say that? It is not okay to say that. So according to Amsited, I'll tell you that money has already been placed to the table. Money is there for these people to just wake up and chant and all that. You heard the people's deputy president say that clapping your hands, you should be paid 2,000. Kushangilia, be paid 3,000.
Pandisha Bay.
Panisha Bay, you know, because this money is there apparently. Nimemwagwa to these people. We have seen it. We have, here's something we have seen happening. And him coming to Meru, I'll tell you, he will be received in Meru County. Yeah.
Niko na swali.
Uleza.
Money has been poured
Yes.
in Meru.
And it is the taxpayers' money.
And it is the taxpayers' money.
Absolutely.
Nimesikia ukisema tuko na people's deputy president.
Yes.
Wewe ni a university comrade.
Yes.
Wewe ni youth leader
Yes.
kwa national
Political party.
political party.
A People's
And
Loyal
you still
Party.
feel we have two DPs. The official mwenye yako by Dija and the people's DP.
Yeah. If you come to realize, you have to check the matrix of the unrest which has been there. If this is not a people's person, then you have to sit back and question yourself, why is there unrest in the country? Why is there so much corners currently we have? And then you remain at the same point. Why is still the DP? Remember he took the Senate ruling to the courts. It has not still, to date, it has not been haijakuwa ruled out. So, he's still in
DP somehow.
He's still a DP. You get that
But
point?
who's DP?
Unless the Senate sasa does what they does to Kawira Mwangaza and say, we shall go with the ruling of the Senate, you are out. You get that point? Unless that is taken to the court. But currently, it's so hard.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's about the people.
Yeah, it's about
RSS.
we the people.
We
By the
the
way,
people.
I had it's the sovereignty power of the people. And once the people start singing, by the way, I'm so mad with what Karahiri said the other day, because my dear brother, your purpose is to lead these people, and you can just sit down and question. It was during the Nero's in national intelligence unity, and then this is something which happened like, what are you saying? Your main power is to protect these people. And then you are telling them not to execute their sovereignty, which is their power, and it is there captured in the constitution, which you are apparently supposed to be governing. So who is in the wrong? Are they the people, or are you out of books? That's a question you should be. And what are your interests? What are your interests?
Politics.
Yes.
Game of interests.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about power to the people.
Yes.
The standard they're talking about, Mungiki back up. Nick, President Ruto's return to Mount Kenya remains a critical test of his grip on the region. Once a stronghold, shifting allegiances now threaten his once perceived dominance. Reports of former Mungiki leader Maina Jenga involvement in mobilization efforts ahead of his tour raise questions, though planners deny the illegal sex involvement as backup plans to show up numbers for Coptics. Page 4, 5 and 6 of the Standard talking about bado hii Mount Kenya tour. Wameweka picha pale hivyo na wamebla zile faces. One thing they've not blurred is the dreadlocks za huyu kijana kwa hapa hivi. I'd call this stereotyping, which still denies some power. Ni wapi kwa katiba yako kumeandikwa lazima unyolewe? Ni wapi kwa katiba yako kumeandikwa kuwa na nywele ni shida? But sasa inasemekana that these are the people who will be giving the president security in his own country, in Mount Kenya. How does it augur with you from where you sit?
Mariam, let me just pick it up from where Makena left it. Personally, when I was listening to what the CDF was saying, the CDF was responding to the question of why was the military deployed during the 25th of June 2025. And to the students of history and also law, I want to imagine that we went to Parliament and we went to State House. The simply English, that is what? That's a coup. And the worst kind of situation we can live as a country is when we have an overthrown government. Because ideally, we want to get emotional and frustrated about what the CDF said. But from where he's standing in, he's responding like a soldier.
Like a soldier.
Like a soldier. The soldier, his main work is to protect the constitution and the government of the day.
The constitution
and the
government of the day
from any internal or external factors. Now we, the young people, we were perceived to have threatened the government of the day. So he had to respond on why the military were deployed. But let it be assured that, and we have to speak again from facts and also devoid ourselves from being illogical and also emotional. If you have visited West African countries, those that have gone through coup, you see over and over time, somebody just wakes up and says, I want to become president. And they overthrow the government. That brings backwards any other developed country, I assure you. And for us, Kenya, let me tell you, the worst, now going back to the story of Mungiki, the worst place we can go back is 2007. At that point of time, probably me and you could understand what was happening at that point of time. Now, and these organized illegitimate groups which have sworn an oath to protect whatever they want to protect are not to be taken as if it's a child's play game. No. It took us a lot of time. And I remember the late John Michuki, who was the interior minister at that point, the minister of of Interior at that point of time, it took him sweat and blood to make sure that this group was
Cleansed.
was destabilized. So when the thought of even us going back there, you know what happens to us as the people of Mount Kenya? That during that time, what this group did, any person coming from Mount Kenya was perceived to be
Mungiki.
a Mungiki.
As long as you're speaking Kikuyu, as long as you're speaking Kimeru,
As long as speaking Kiembu.
and you are male.
You understand?
Wanaume ndio walikuwa naumia zaidi.
You understand? It is a difficult situation to be in. And I remember my parents really struggled to keep us away from the deadlocks thing. It's not easy as we think it can be, because who on earth will want to lose a child based on that narrative? And it is very dangerous, because this illegitimate group are still recruiting, and unfortunately they are targeting the spirited young people from campus. And the orders for these people are shoot and kill.
Mariam, I want to chip in.
Kidogo amalize.
Okay,
Nataka
it's okay.
kuwanisha whatever he is saying
It's okay.
with whatever iko kwa gazeti.
It's okay.
Don't respond, because
So,
it's about the same thing.
Okay.
If our current president is feeling or thinking that this is the right direction to go, so that he can mobilize numbers and protect the perceived ground from hululations or makelele, then I think he's being perceived. But politically, this is how I'm looking at it, Mariam. This is a trap for us, Mount Kenya, because we are the largest population that voted in the sitting president. And the receptive of where the president has visited, he has visited Nairobi, he has gone to Nyanza, he has gone to Coast, people are celebrating him. So for the plan to work, for the plan to completely alienate the people of Mount Kenya, is so that Ruto can go there, he gets booed, and then they say it is now 42 against one. I want to encourage my people or our people, please let us see that trap.
It's a trap.
It is a trap for us.
So he wants to go to Mount Kenya, get bored, then go back to Rift
And say,
Valley. Ona venye wamenifanya.
Exactly. It's a trap for us.
Okay. So the Standard huwa wanape citizen a chance ya kuandika gazeti for the opinions to be heard. It's the opinion section that is on page 12 of the Standard. Na picha iko pale hivyo ni ya Nurdin Haji. Huyu amesimama tu Haji at all. So the binoculars zenye yako nazo zimeandikwa must go, and then kuna quote pale hivyo inasemekana National Intimidation Service. Hapo chini either way kuna opinion ya jamaa anaitwa Kidi Mwaga, na he's talking about the mandate. Why public attack against KDF chief is baseless and pointless. Whatever we are talking about right now. Yenye umesema he just spoke as a soldier. Yes. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Shoot Satan. Anaelekea huko. So last Thursday, I had the good fortune of being among many non-law enforcement actors who graced inaugural public lecture by the intelligence chief, Mr. Nurdin Haji. These speakers were Chief of Defense Forces CDF Charles Kahariri, Attorney General Dorcas Oduor, and LSK President Faith Odhiambo. The following day, I noticed with dismay the sustained social media condemnation of the CDF for his remarks that the institution he leads is apolitical and their primary loyalty is to the state. Hiyo ni opinion ya Kidi Mwaga. He wanted to address the same issue.
Yes.
Tuko kwako sasa, mama.
I'll take from where he left her, and I'll tell you, our person who has sat in at both strategies with both national political parties and even school politics. And I'll tell you, you always have to sell a perception. What we are currently seeing, we want to be divided among tribal lines. That is why there's been a common clash between the Western and the Luos. You have seen that. It is uprising. And who is the main target? People who are outside the government. Someone like Peter Salasya. That is why the division is coming.
A first-time MP.
Yes. And a very person who is so outspoken and who has the soft spots. These people have a soft spot towards this person. You get that point? And the other thing, when they bring Mungiki to the table, they want us to go back to the 2007 politics. But they forget that these youths, in the start, they said that we are tribeless, we are politically, and we are the majority. We don't have any tribe. We know only to speak Sheng, we know to speak Kiswahili, we know to speak English. That's something these people are forgetting. These youths are not divided in tribal lanes. They are not at all. So they want to bring the perception of tribes. But we, the youths, we are not packing that in.
We are not interested.
These people were chanting here in Kenyatta University. Well, the game of Kenyatta, of Muranga, which was going on. What did they chant? Did they chant Hatutaki Kalonzo, Hatutaki Madhakarua?
No.
What did they do?
Must go, must
They said Ruto must go. Go back to the Nyayo Stadium. What did they do?
Must go.
They said must go. These youths did not say we want Mogiki out, we want Mogiki in. We have already realized what you're doing. And that is something we are not subduing to. So we accepting the strategy of this person and saying that apparently he's so behind. I'll say that openly. You don't know what the youth of this country want. The moment you understand what do these youths of this country want, I think that is the moment this must go shall stop. Otherwise, then we shall look at this point where it is 2027 and the youths are back to the street towards election and they have said no elections.
No
And they
elections.
have closed down those polling stations. What will happen? Who will get you to power? Someone will go to exile. Thank you so
Someone will
much.
go to
Someone
exile.
will go to exile.
Acha nisiseme.
Because that might happen.
It
You
might
have
happen.
to look
It might happen.
You have to look these politics in a different dimension. The dynamics which you currently want to use, these are dynamics za kitambo sana. And these people, remember that kitambo sana, we didn't have someone going by the name, maybe you can say Diana Rose. And those, I don't have another name. My parents intermarried, Kalejin, and maybe from Mount Kenya.
Mount Kenya, Mwadime is here.
Kenya. You see, that's the point that these people they're not divided the way you want to divide them. Unaona? So, wewe kutaka kuleta the community clash, it might have worked in 2007.
But not now.
Currently, it will not work because these people already intermarried. We are far away from that. And
Karibu
that's a
nikwambie
big
inject. Nikakumbuka wewe sio daktari.
Whatever is a good friend of
So,
mine.
mark you,
Yeah.
Mwadime's parents are not our generation.
Imagine, they are not. And this is not their revolution.
And Mwadime's
This
parents,
is our revolution.
and Mwadime's parents
Yes,
are not tribal.
exactly.
We are not tribal.
So you can imagine.
Mimi ni wa 93, so I'm still millennial. I am not tribal. Gen Zs are not tribal.
They are tribal. So you can imagine the mother to Mwadime being told, Wakikuyu ni watu wabaya sana. How do you tell me the love of my life where I got my husband from? Ni watu wabaya sana.
Ametolewa pale hivyo Kaya Nation.
Exactly.
Amepelekwa mpaka huko Kiambu.
You can imagine.
Kwa hiyo baridi yote.
You can imagine Akipkoriri and Wangui. What will you be telling them?
Wamboi and Otieno.
A lady who has married Wambui and Otieno, these things shall be sustained and they shall be there. We have to look the dimensions which are currently there.
Napenda.
Exactly.
I promise them it's going to be a hot show.
Yeah.
Nashangaa mbona sisi ndio hatunaga fire extinguisher. Mwadime, why President Ruto is exposed without these 5 men from Mount Kenya is on national news, the Standard newspaper. And they're talking about Gachagua went to great lengths to paint an savory picture of Uhuru Raila alliance. Muturi, who was sacked in a cabinet reshuffle last week, had been one of President's point men hapo hivyo, other men who will not be with President Ruto in Mount Kenya tour,
Sure.
yet alikuwa na wao ni Moses Kuria. We all know Moses Kuria,
Yes,
and what he does with his mouth,
yes.
and bald head kama ile ya Mwadime. Mithika Linturi, all the way from
Meru
Meru.
County.
He is the guy who was beaten by Kawira Mwangaza
Sure.
with over 25,000 votes, you say.
Yes.
A representation of a constituency.
Yes.
He won't be with the president.
Imagine.
But also that governor won't be with the president in Meru.
Very tough.
Haya, toka Meru ingia hapo hivyo Mbeere North.
Yes.
The former AG. Kwanza ilisemekana akiwa AG, unajua kazi yake ni kuadvise.
Yeah.
He was not giving any advices. Ndio maana hadi mtoto wake alikuwa na abductiwa huko. Anasikia tukisikia yeti yeye ni AG. He is also served the Parliament of Kenya National Assembly 2 terms.
Yeah.
He will not be with the President Ruto in Mount Kenya tour.
Yeah.
And a youth like us,
Yeah.
someone who has said anataka kuwa wise via kunyamaza sana.
Yeah.
Ndende Nyoro.
Yeah.
He helped President Ruto so much to climb this mountain that Ruto wants to climb again. Ni wapi alishukia? And will what they are calling Mongiki backup help him tighten the grip? Picha inakaaje in this week?
I love the spirited Makena. I love the passion.
She's a Kemathi. That's
Yes.
why I asked about
Yes.
her father.
Yes, but being a politician, I understand the optics and understand what is actually happening. And he has brought in the issue of the Luyos and the Luya. To me, I still see it's neither here or there. Because what Salasa is doing is just trying to gain mileage by attacking a big known person in both communities. But if Salasa was really serious, then he will attack Oparanya, because Oparanya is old and is from the Luya community. He will attack Boni Kalwale, he will attack Atuoli, he will attack all the Luya strongholds. There's Mudavadi, there is where he's coming from, his party, Eugene Wamalo. He is from DAP. Salasa was elected through DAP. But he seems to have forgotten that, because that is not what he's trying to do. He's trying to get political mileage, just like what Natembea is doing.
Natembea is tembea.
You understand? He's not doing anything new from what Baba was doing. You see, there's a point when it reached Baba, if those who remember history, Baba was against his own father.
1990.
Yes.
1990.
Yes, 1990.
Exactly.
He said
1992
he
elections.
said Jaramogi cannot take this mantle for a long time.
That takes guts.
You understand?
Kufika mahali
Because
kuambia baba yako, buda, ushazeeka.
It's
Kuna vile
politics.
yezi.
For those who remember the battle between Kijana Wamalo and Raila Amolo Odinga in the Western and Luo Nyanza. For those who remember the battle between Orengo and Raila in Ugenya and Siaya, who's to take over. So these are just politics of opulence, politics of popularity, politics of the mass. But are we meeting the politics of strategy and being on the table? Because right now, how many young people will wake up in the morning? I hear whatever she's saying, that we are going to close the polling center as young people.
I've not said we. I've said the possibilities.
The possibility.
These are the possibilities.
I can
Yes.
back your
You're checking
possibility. I
them
can
out.
back your possibility.
Yeah.
We've had international election observers who are supposed to be
Yeah.
observing Kenya's election. They are already complaining that we are halfway. We are supposed to have an IBC from Kitambo. In the year 2024, we are supposed to have boundary review done by IBC. It was
Exactly.
not done.
It is
If
not
it's
done.
not done, then it means it's foul play. By 2027, we won't have free and fair elections. That's where
Exactly.
Makena is saying,
So,
with all the
let
youth
me-
out there, that
let me-
if
let
we are
me-
not going to have free and fair election, then there is no need of us having these
There's
elections.
no need of having these elections.
And let me reiterate my point. Constitutionally, if we cannot elect a president within 5 years, then the sitting president holds the mantles of power until the next government. So again, I tell the people, our young people, let us read the constitution, because these are people who are advised about the constitution and its loopholes. That if you choose not to go and vote, then
we are equally as saying that this government of the day continues with their mandate. Look at what happened in 2022. The voter apathy. 65% of the 19 million came out and vote. What happened? We have this government of the day. But if we were to take ourselves serious, Ojuang, then the first issue is, let us get our voters card. Number two, let us raise as many young people in our in our wards, in our constituencies, in our counties, in our even the toppest presidential ticket. And that is where Kenya had the parties coming in. Because these are what we're talking about. We cannot say that we will not go to the ballot. Let us be on the ballot.
Let us be on that ballot.
Let us populate our county assemblies with young people. Let us populate our national assemblies, both the Senate and both the upper house and the lower house, with young people.
Yeah.
That is where we will be pushing what we want to air out as young people.
In these
Otherwise, it remains to be noise. Because unajua watu Waswahili husema kelele za chura siku zote hazifanye nini?
Hazimzuii ng'ombe kunywa maji.
Tusikue kelele za chura.
Okay, let's talk about security. We've talked about President Ruto being exposed in Mount Kenya, Mungiki coming in. We've had our own security officers out there in peacekeeping mission, Haiti. Now listen, talks on to get body of officer from Haiti gang. Policeman's family members said that by Saturday, they had not received official communication from the government. Talks have been opened with the Haitian gang that has detained the body of a Kenyan police officer, even as the slain policeman's family said the government is yet to notify them about his fate. Even before our officers went to this peacekeeping mission in Haiti, we as the Kenyan people were against this, but we were told that the president of US then, Joe Biden, had given a green light. On top of green light, had given 14 billion Kenya shillings, money that was supposed to help or support this mission. We said we are taking our officers to a death trap. The Haitian gang leaders promised us blood. Whatever we are seeing on these papers, they promised us, nyinyi tutumieni hawa watu na wakikuja tutawachinja. They are not doing that sizing. Unasema talks with the Haiti gang to release body of fallen officer. Utasikia bado wakisema this officer is not maybe dead. He's there, ni kumpata tujampata tunamtafuta. As that is happening huko nje, hapa Kenya bado we are still grappling with insecurities. Leo kwa news we were talking about vile vijana upande wa Mombasa wanaingia kwa magenge. We don't have security as Kenyans mahali tuko. Turkana, Isiolo, Garissa huko juu. Garissa, when president was to make his northern tour, 5 chiefs got abducted, not by Kenya police or DCI as we are used to, but Al-Shabaab militias. In Isiolo, bado unasikia 20 Kenyans were ambushed and massacred. But sisi karao wetu wako peacekeeping mission. Address this, Kakangu.
First of all, let me sympathize with the family of the bereaved and pass my extreme condolences. It is not absolutely comforting to be put in such kind of a situation. Secondly, those are some of the things that I have not, some of the political decisions that I have not completely agreed with our current president. And infuriating as it is, the balancing between international politics and local politics becomes a little bit complex. Because among the, let me say, the negotiation treaty on us getting loans from IMF, there are some of the things that we had to give. And unfortunate for us, we had to give part of our police and part of our military. So it is not as simple as it looks. And now that we said we don't want finance bill 2025, those who have sat in the finance department or finance committee or the treasury will tell you we have gone a far stretch to look for money either in US, either in China, so that we stabilize our country, because our bills are way overboard. But I see a violation of the constitution, and the court is yet to declare on this issue of whether the president met the standard of deploying our soldiers or deploying our officers to Haiti. And it is very sad dealing with strong related gangs like Haiti. It will take time. It's not a one-day process. And the cost of war is usually very expensive. Even today, if we were to send our soldiers to go fight for us, I remember back in history classes, when World War I was happening, World War II was happening, young men were being taken from their homes to go fight for their countries. It was not a matter of negotiation. It was a matter of you have to fight for your country.
In other cases, they are being told, as long as you're 7 years old and above, you are a male, you are a soldier, you have the power, let's go.
So our police officers have been put in a very difficult place, because police and both military, they go by orders. It's a command, and the highest command we have in this country is the president. And this is a clerical call to our president. Please look at this situation. Look at this family. It's getting messy. Please move so fast so that the family can have what we call closure. Because once they sworn an oath of office, they knew the risk of getting themselves into this.
They knew they could die.
Yes.
So they need closure.
They need closure. So in as much as we want to politic around it, say that the president is wrong or right, the president did not follow the constitution, I can only sympathize with the family and look at what needs to be done so that we protect our soldiers, we protect our officers. Let us not send them to war or to local fights without proper ammunition, because I don't think our country has the right ammunition to go address the issue that is going on in Haiti. And I also don't think that Haiti is also ready for a government of the day to run, because the politics there is very difficult. And once, that's what I was talking about, the moment you have a coup, you have gangs like what is happening in Haiti taking over. That is the cost of a coup. When a coup was happening in Haiti and when they shot dead the president, it will take some time before you stabilize such kind of systems. Systems you're supposed to maintain systems, however imperfect they are, because I tell people the reality of free education. We had free education, but we are paying the cost of unemployment, because nobody whatsoever thought about there will come a time we have so many graduates with so little employment factors. So when coming up with system is a tough balance, so that those who have studied development of system, they will tell you it is a step by step. Like I look at our new education funding model, our new education series, the CBC. It's a good model, but can we picture the end? What will happen when we have when we remove mathematics, for example, and then you just remain with art? Are we in a position to sustain art? So for Haiti again, it's a sad situation, and I want to tell the president, please come in for the sake of this family, for the sake of this family.
Do something.
Do something.
Anasema rais anapiga hesabu zake. But as he's doing that, tunatoa mao kwa curriculum. Diana, you won an award for being a strategist this month, 14th March 2025 at the KUSA Awards.
For sure.
You will address that in this question. Sasawa.
Okay.
People who are suffering the most from maybe our officers going to these peacekeeping missions are not those people.
Yeah.
Those people signed, as Mwadime said, they signed a contract that naeza tokea hapo hivyo na nikufe. They've left families behind. I'm talking about the wife of that Kabiro. Jina lake ni Kabiro. That the soldier we are talking about, the officer, his name is Kabiro. The mom is in anguish. The wife, he had a daughter who is expecting to join campus. The daughter is worried. Will I join without my father, or is my father alive? Will he come back? What will happen? And all of these things. From where you sit, wewe unaweza semaje kuhusu sisi kutoka hapa hivi tunaenda peacekeeping huko nje at a very expensive cost? Juu Mwadime amesema the cost of war is very expensive.
Very.
Yet back home bado mnaumia kama wanadada. Ongea kama wanadada na kama strategist. What can we do better?
What can we do better? Exactly. The main question is, these are consequences of bad decision making. On the other point, look at this dimension. We want to sympathize. I'm still in the side of the Haiti people. They are on the right. They are not on the wrong. They are fighting for their own governance.
Huyo jamaa mwenye anaongoza anaitwa Jimmy Barbecue.
Yeah.
Barbecue anasema whatever that is happening in our country, we are not doing this because tunafanya juu. It's like Kenya. Kwao kila kitu pia kiko the same. They are fighting to have a good governance.
Exactly. And you forget that before we gained our independence, we still did the same fight. Even in the reign of Nelson Mandela, the same happened. Even in the reign of Idi Amin in Uganda, before Yoweri Museveni came into power, if you remember very well, Yoweri Museveni was a fighter. Uko kwa vichaka uko. So they all came into power through a coup. And absolutely, this is, there will definitely be unrest before you achieve something. And these people, I don't know, why are we going to fight our own Africans in their own soil? Well, whatever they want is something is substantial for them. They want independence. But we are being used by the West, okay, to go for peacekeeping. And this peacekeeping means fighting our fellow Africans. Does it make sense to you? It doesn't make sense. And these people who are sending us there, where are they? They are not even there.
They are on sunroofs.
Yes, where are they? They're not even there wherever they are sending us. We have other countries who said, you know what, my dear brother, Joe Biden, we are not going.
We are not boarding.
Why should we fight Africans? All these sanctions you are protecting, Trump has removed them. Sini ukweli. USAID. Currently we have a very short, we don't, they are visas, so they are Aziko.
It's on the papers today that those who are suffering the most are young ones, babies, due to insufficiency of the ARV drugs.
So you can imagine at a situation where we are currently. Whatever we were thinking it will not happen, it has happened. And this is the core thing of decision making, poor decision making. I sympathize with these families. And I'm asking, because they're supposed to be funded and everything, especially that these are state officers, may everything be brought to justice for them. These children need to go to school. And as Mwangi has said about the result of unemployment, it is due to free education. I still want to say yes, it is true. But look at this man who brought free education. He had something we called Vision 2030. And in his Vision 2030, the core things were about industrialization, agriculture. So this man had seen far.
Infrastructure.
Exactly. He had already looked at the consequences of what I'm giving to the people. But look at this point. We never had a committee which was supposed to sit down and come up and oversee the Vision 2030 if it is happening. Okay? Who bringing CBC in was to tackle the question of the question of unemployment and the quality of education you are giving these people in such a way that these people can sustain themselves in innovation and in creativity. In this point, I'll speak as a teacher, and I'll say this: me as a teacher, we have had so many cases where we are still taking these children to school, but we have nowhere to take them. We have even the degree revision. It is supposed to be there. Students are studying degrees which are out of time. And at the end of the day, they have nowhere. Maybe back in the rain, these degrees were so much helpful. But currently, they're not helpful. Look at the psychologists we have currently. One institution needs one psychologist. So, and how many psychologists are graduating in Kenyatta University? We can say around 150 every year.
150 ni kidogo.
150 ni kidogo.
Hey,
1,000 plus. Unaona? And these are psychologists. Where will they go? Na mtu ana retire na miaka 65. Where will these people go? So at the end of the day, we have to look at the solution side. Which are the solutions? As long as we are complaining, which are the solutions? And I think the youth are giving these solutions. It is just that there is no one who is ready to listen to them. We are seeing them as if they are politicizing. The youths are not politicizing. And as I say, Ojwang, every time, ukifunika kibuyu ya uji for a very long time, the carbon inside there, siku moja hii kibuyu italipuka. And when it ilipukas, that is a situation which is happening in Haiti. These people have bottled the emotion so much. Adi ikalipuka. And now the solutions which are coming, the uji is already everywhere. You get that point? So they are trying to recollect their own nation. Why don't we help them in recollecting their own nation? My party leader, Kalonzo Musyoka, has been used severally to go in peacekeeping missions. Look at the case of Kofi Annan. When the nation, in 2007, when the nation was at a very disentangled place, these people came in to help us recollect our country back. But we, instead of going to help people recollect their country back, we are going to fight them as they're trying. So we are joining our hearts with their oppressors. And that doesn't even sit so well with us.
Oppressors one side.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah.
Sometimes Nick nakaaga chini naona mazini kama tunaishigi kwa sako. Unasomaga haya magazeti, you see, like every time I meet you, we talk about same things.
Yeah.
On set.
And that's what I'm saying. The more things are changing, the more they remain the same.
The more they remain the same. The Daily Nation. Tuko saizi. Nena tukiorganisha hizi stories zote ndo
Sure.
The final betrayal of Kenyans who lost 34 billion in pyramid schemes. We are talking about youths who have been empowered through education but hakuna kazi. And then mmoja wao amekuwa mjanja zaidi, amewaambia wewe kuna mahali tunaunda pesa hapa hivi, all you have to do ni ukuje Commerce House 4th floor with 200 shillings ya registration which we use kuseparate jokers.
Sure.
Wengine wanaitwa M Global. They are globalizing their aim in kutuibia.
Global. Wanabadilishanga majina.
Kila wakati.
The other time 3D plan, Alliance Party, Alliance whatever is. Those people is.
So between the year 2005 and 2007, as the country was gripped in referendum and general election campaigns, at least 39,000 Kenyans were silently conned out of more than 34 billion in Ponzi-like schemes zenye tunaongelelea.
Sure.
And for close to 2 decades now, those who bought into the overnight riches craze have never recouped their money, and there are no signs of recovery. The more things change, the more they look the same. Saizi tunashinda tukimbia watu, before utoe doza kwa mfuko upe mtu na ni kazi unatafuta, think twice.
But those people are desperate, Mariam.
They are desperate.
They are desperate.
Nick, what would you say about this? We are desperate to a point that we don't learn. We still do the same things. Sure. Hata mimi saizi nikipigiwa niambiwe Ujwang, kuna mahali kuna job, kuja na ubebe 500. Hii 500 ni ya kuseparate jokers from wale wako real. Nitatokea.
I think it is something that we young people suffer a lot. And I may not slightly agree with what Makena is saying, because the element of quick gratification is what leads us to desperation. And we don't want to give the element of time. And we understand that our country has a lot of challenges. But what are we doing to be part of the solution? That's what I want to call this morning. And a lot, as Makena said, a lot about peace, about resolution. And one thing that she noted, that when Kenya was at a standstill in 2007, they didn't send us a white man to do the peace resolution. When Ukraine was at a standstill, they didn't send a black man to do the peaceful resolution.
Yeah.
So it is something that if you send a white man to a black man, the black man will take it as an insult. If you send a black man to a white man to do a peaceful resolution, they will take it as an insult. Those are the terminologies of international politics. It is unfortunate that we are beginning to understand that politics run the world. We are at standstill as a country today, as young people, because of politics. When you are told, wake up and go and vote. Vote wisely. Vote for right leaders. Vote for right policies. Don't vote because you are wewe ni Mjaluo, wewe ni Mkikuyu, wewe ni Mkamba. We don't listen. We want to eat our cake and still have it. Right? Today, and I hear you every day in your show. I listen to every conversation you have gone in Roysambu, in Kurukwanjeng. I listen. You tell young people to take the voter registration card.
In fact, there's something better we are doing. I've been trained after election as Kahawa West's youth leader was Shofko.
Yes.
Shining hope for communities.
Imagine.
And I have targets that I must help youths get IDs. Kutoka process ya kwanza ya kumwambia twende kwa chief hadi yaishike. In 3 months. Ndawatafuta kufanya hiyo.
And you imagine our young people are still very reluctant. And we see we are part of the problem, but we want to be part of the solution. That I keep saying, we are the majority of this population. We are the majority in terms of voters, in terms of population, in terms of people who have gone to school, in terms of the workforce. We are still the majority. But largely, we get incited very quickly and divided along matters of what makes us more desperate. Because in among the laws of power, people know this very quickly. I will look at what you suffer the most. I will negotiate with you, agreed. If you need 500 shillings, I'll just give you 1500. Na nikuulize, uko sawa bro?
Utasema uko sawa?
Uko sawa.
Tulilitisha 500?
Yes.
Umenipea times 3.
Times 3. Yet in mind, I'm still having 1 million.
Good.
So our issue about unemployment or getting fraud or getting conned in our institution, it still goes back. When I look at the problem, it still goes back to who do we put in office?
So shida ni sisi.
Yes, who
we
do we
must
put?
accept ka vijana.
Yes.
Shida ni sisi.
Who do we put in office?
We must accept kwenda kwa ballot kusimama, and we must accept kwenda kwa ballot kuchaguana.
Let me give you a good example. The new education funding model. Who's suffering the most?
We are suffering the most.
But where are the young people?
We are being discussed on the table.
Where are the young people?
But it is not us who are there. Tufanyaje? Our time is up.
Yes.
Na lazima tuende lines za kwetu.
Yes.
We must go back, give wisdom in our own language because it's Monday. But hatuwezi fanya hivyo kama hatujaingia sports. Kwa sports, tumefika wapi mambo ya timu zako? Tulisema timu moja ya Kenya na PL moja at least. Kuja hapa hivi hii part ya gazeti tunakuwa tunaongeleleaga. So team za
So I'm happy with the Nottingham and Brighton's game, which was on Saturday. I'm so happy that Nottingham iko number 2 hapo.
So ushapata team na team yako ni Nottingham?
No. Mimi ni Pep Guardiola. Najua ata resurrect. I know Pep. Yeah.
Wewe ni Gen Z.
I'm Man City.
Wanasema mafans wa Man City
ni Gen Z.
Gen Z ni Man U hii ingine.
Yeah, exactly.
Nick, team zako bado gani?
Mimi
ya Kenya.
Wacha niseme mimi nimetoka, mimi ni kijana wa mtaa. Na pale mtaani kuna team inaitwa Zimmerman FC. Zimmerman FC ni team noma sana kutoka Roysambu Constituency FC.
Na Zimmerman inacheza kwa
Shaban.
So ni hii wiki.
Yes, so mimi I want to wish the very best ile timu yangu ya Zimmerman FC. Nikiingia kwa Kenya lazima mimi niseme mimi ni shabiki sugu wa Harambee Stars.
Shabiki hakiki shakiki wa Harambee Stars. Na timu yenye inacheza KPL.
Nikiingia kwa timu tuvunja roho zaidi. Mimi ni mwana Arsenal. Mwana Arsenal damu.
That's why you are still a politician. Arsenal wanateta sana. With all the energy from Mikel. Sasa tusikize ya Kenya. Ambani Mihi Crew Strike. Ambani is the coach wa AFC. AFC Leopards coach Fred Ambani and his Gor Mahia counterpart Sinisia Mihik lamented their team's lack of prolific forwards after goalless draw in the first leg of Mashemeji Derby at Nyayo National Stadium. Squeezy ball zimeanza kuchange. FKF I think inapata kitu kingine kipya. Watu wanajaa. Kutoka kwa barabara unawaona. Jana nilikuwa naona mabishto wangu even akina Sheka wako pale hivyo on side ya Ingwe. It's so unfortunate ningekuwa hapo hivyo ningekuwa side ile nyingine ya Gor Mahia.
Exactly.
But they're doing good.
Wasapere tumelala kidogo.
Wasapere sikia what happened during the weekend. Shabana, the Tory Bobby's side. Wameingia Murang'a wamewasili 3-0.
Lakini Wasapere tupenangi ball.
Watu wengine wamefanya fiti.
Hata ukiingia hiyo Shabana utapata Umundi, utapata Wafula.
Si wao.
Heri wa sponsor team wasicheze.
Ni timu ya Kenya ile. Shabana ndio imefanya nikatembea game za KPL. Kama kuna game nimetembea tukiwa na Ginangure tumeenda mpaka Thika kuona huko na walipigwa na Bidco. Posta Rangers at least wanafanya kitu mzuri. Wametandika polisi. Hapana, wamepigwa na polisi sorry 1-0. Nimesema polisi nikakumbuka now it's time yenye ulimi inaanza kushikashikwa na ancestors. Kazi za kikwetu zinaingia.
Kama mali umetoka. After all it's art and culture.
Tuanze hapa hivi. Tukiingia lens ya kikwetu nataka pia umalizie and wish jamii ya Waislamu one more time nini alafu tuambie form mahali unaenda.
Sure.
Tuko na mabeshte pale hivyo wanaweza tusukumia kichele. Kuna kitu inaitwa Zakat al-Fitr. Katika schedule ya leo. It happens kutoka saa hizi hadi saa 6. It's a place where you converge the less fortunate. Na mahali tuko saa hizi Kenya kila mtu ni kama less fortunate. You are supposed to give us food. Kitu cha kwanza Oyondi na wale wengine wanafaa watupe pilao, watupe mbuzi, nyama ya mbuzi ya leo. Na wale wako kwa northern nini wapeane nyama ya ngamia na maziwa.
Sisi kama Kenya hadi party tutaleta kitunguu.
Mariam na kina Jane Jamila wanafaa leo watupange.
So aleta dengu.
So kwenye birthday pia kumejaa.
Aleta dengu.
Dengu sana. Leo kumejaa Waislamu wengi sana because it's the central point yenye wanatoka huko kwote, wanatoka Isiolo, kutoka Garissa, na wanataka kujifeel wako Nairobi, Kenya part A, wanaingia Gameru. Kwanza nasema kaende. Let's za kikwetu from kaende's land and we wish them happy Eid.
So me I'll in my lens za kikwetu I'll say Bororai Butioka.
Tuanze tena.
Borora Butioka. You know that whatever for bends inalipukanga. You get that point? And I feel the situation where we are currently is at a situation where we don't want to accept our reality. It is fermenting and fermenting and fermenting. But when it shall explode, we shall be here saying oh, we never saw this happen. But you already saw it fermenting. So what are you saying you never saw it
Uliona
happen?
kibuyu
You
kikifura.
already saw the kibuyu fura. Na ni kama inakwambia nafura yo.
Ukasema hapana, hawa wanafura juu ya kiburi, wamekula sana, wameshiba. Hajui ni anga.
Wanakuanga hivyo, you know.
Hawafuzi tabia na mama zao.
Tabia na mama zao, exactly. Ukiona wengine wakipigwa, you're struggling, piga. You get that point.
Then you lose a son.
Yeah, and when this explodes, when this anger of the people explodes, you start saying they don't have decorum. They are so disrespectful. You forget you disrespected them first. Ikibuyu ukieka pale chini, you disrespect it. Au kuifungua usikilize venye nataka.
At least he breathe.
Exactly. So it's already pushing you, it's telling you I'm not good. I'm not good, by the way. Siko fiti, nitakurarua. Siko fiti. And you keep on forgetting that. And today, being it fatal, I'll want to say hi to my Muslim friends. We are so delighted to have you. And there's something we have not touched about the ID issuance. It's something we are looking upon. Everyone should get their ID without being victimized or whatever. And because we are raw Kenyans, and this is our country, and this is a country we all love. So I'll want to say hi to Abdi Kasim. He was the organizing secretary in KU. I want to say hi to Hussein. Hussein is a very good friend of mine from Oslo Center. And to Shakila Abdallah, she's the SG of our political party. I want to say hi to all Muslims. They are very great people. Is the SG I've seen who is not a Muslim. You know, in UDA we have Omar Hassan. You know, when you come to Kanu, we have a lady, not Kanu, when you come to NAK party.
Alikuwa amezungumzia kuhusu madam mwenye ako KAP.
She is the National Organizing Secretary. So we have so many of these people, and to them, this is a nation. We love you. You come up, we build this nation together. There's a place for everyone in Kenya, and that is why we're struggling to get a better country, a better country for our children and for our generations. Thank you so much, Mariam.
It's umesema ni yetu sisi wote.
Yeah, ni yetu
sisi wote. For the sake of our Muslim brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Nimerequestiwa urudie lines za Kikwetu yako, both the line and the translation, please. Nikurudia tu 10 seconds.
Mine is, I've said Bororai Butiuka, meaning that whatever ferments and ferments and ferments, one day it explodes.
Asante sana. Nick Mwadime Mwangi. Kumekuwa na confusion sana as Muslims are split again on ending fast. Imekuwa ni leo, si leo. But one thing they agree is that leo need el-Fitr. That one they agree. And the Islamic community of this world are saying that they're going to invest more in technology. Ikuwe inaangaliwa hiyo crescent moon ni leo ni kesho, so that inakuwa fiti. But napenda Waislamu juu kama ni fasting na wamesema ni 29 days, everyone atamaliza 29 days before we start debating mwezi unatokea wapi. Si ndio?
Yes.
Sijui kama utawapeleka Coast ama utawapeleka Kiambu, lines za Kikwetu, now that you are
mimi nitawapeleka Nairobi. Mimi ni kijana wa Nairobi.
Shamba la mawe. Bora usiwape ya Momari. Ni jina ya Momari yenyewe ya kuwa gani?
Yetu ni very simple.
Yeah, good.
Na mtanisaidia kusema. Nikisema Kenya hadi party, mnasema kitunguu. Nikisema kitunguu, mnasema marashi ya mboga. Si ndio? Kenya hadi party, kitunguu,
marashi ya mboga.
Why we chose this slogan is because we realize that kitunguu is a common element of cooking. And ukikata kitunguu inakuasha, but hauwezi kosa kupika nayo. And it's inspiration to also many communities we have in Kenya that our backbone is farming. And our backbone is working hard. So you see so many people coming out to work hard to provide a meal, just a meal. So that is why tunasema ni marashi ya mboga. And it's an inspiration not just to me, but also to my generation and also the older generation.
and probably to remind Makena that 10 years from now, 15 years from now, a generation will say and will wake up and say, we must go, we are old people. So as we are planning
Makena,
also,
10 years from now.
Plan,
Kuna mtu
so-
anasema Makena umezeeka sana.
Yes.
Well, no, Asta comes there.
So,
I'm
utakuwa
here to
mzee.
serve my nation.
I remember dem fulani aliwahi ambia best yangu hata nikae 10 years itafika 30.
yes. So,
I'll still be under the bracket of youth.
Good. Sorry, Mwadime.
yes.
Sorry, Nick.
Unfortunate for me and Mariam will be in our 40s.
Yes, so sad. We are sorry.
Unfortunate for us, but above all, I want to call on young people. Join Kenya Hadi Party. And it's a party where even our party leader is still a youth. And we thank all the members of the party, my party leader, and of course, wishing our Muslim sisters and brother Idul Fitri. And thank you the KU management, and thank you to you too as well.
Asante sana.
Yes.
Asante sana. From Kenyatta University tutamalizia show hapa hivi. Nasema asante sana. On behalf of everyone mwenye mefanikisha makala ya leo ya KUTV Rise to the Art and Culture Monday, tunasema asante. Niko na good news. Are you from Roysambu constituency or sub county and you are a youth, na wewe ni mtu honest sana, unaweza piga biashara, kitu umekosa ni loan. Shofco, Shining Hope for Community, have empowered me as Kahawa West youth leader. Nikuje nichanue vijana wenzetu. Shofco walinipea loan mimi bila kuniitisha collateral ama kuniambia logbook iko wapi. I want to show other youths what happens in Shofco. Shofco has been so instrumental in Mathare, Kibra, Kisumu, Roysambu ndo inaanza. If you are from any part of Roysambu, usijali ati mimi ni youth leader Kahawa West na siwezi kusaidia. I can help you. If you are from Roysambu, I will connect you with youth leader pale hivyo. Zimmerman, I will connect you. Githurai, we have Momanyi who is also our chair kwa sub county nzima. Na watu wa Kahawa, tuko na madama aitwa Mariam hapo hivyo anasaidia. I will make sure I help you. I'm cordially inviting you on 1st June 2025 for Mr. and Miss Roysambu 2025, the Madaraka edition, hosted by Ojwang Mariam and brought to you by KUTV Sauti na Kioo kwa Jamii, a registered CBO in Nairobi. Tukutane kesho KUTV Rise Today Biashara Tuesday, hosted by Sylvia Anyango. Tuchambue haya magazeti na tuangalie how the people, the economy and the leadership of Kenya is doing. Asanteni sana na mbarikiwe. Msisahau daima dawamu, Mungu halali wala hali wali au ugali. Ojwang, mtoto wa